You're listening to The Main Street Deal, part of Main Street Media. I'm Jordan. It's Thursday, July 30, 2026. Today's story is about Patrick, who bought an HVAC company in Northeast Ohio. Patrick Beal spent his career in tech. Good money, remote work, back-to-back video calls, and a slow creeping sense that he was one reorganization away from being a line item on someone else's spreadsheet. The pandemic years of staring into a webcam did not help. He wanted something that was his, something with a truck and a phone that rang, something where the work was real. He decided he was going to buy a business. He just did not know it would be sitting 3 doors down from him. The search started the way most searches do, with listings and rejections and a lot of quiet math at the kitchen table. But the deal that worked did not come from a broker. It came from a neighbor. An older man in his community owned a small heating and cooling company, the kind of shop that had been quietly serving the same customers for years, and he was thinking about retiring. Patrick did not swoop in with a term sheet. He spent close to a year building trust. Coffees, conversations, showing up, proving he was not going to buy the man's life's work and set it on fire. In a Main Street deal, that patience is not a soft skill. It is the deal. Let's talk about the numbers, because this is where it gets interesting. The business was doing just under $1 million in revenue, with sellers' discretionary earnings somewhere in the range of $120,000 to $150,000. The purchase price was $370,000. Now, most people hear that and immediately think SBA loan, 10% down, a bank, a personal guarantee, the whole apparatus. Patrick did none of that. He structured the deal as 90% seller financing. He put in 10%, and the retiring owner carried a note for the other 90%. No bank, no SBA. And critically, the seller gave him a 1-year deferral on payments, followed by a 5-year amortization. That means Patrick had a full 12 months to run the business and stabilize the cash flow before a single loan payment came due. That structure only exists because of the year he spent earning the seller's confidence. A stranger does not carry 90% of the paper. A trusted neighbor does. Then came year 1, and year 1 is where the romance meets the invoice. The thing Patrick underestimated was working capital. Not the price of the business, the cash it takes to actually run it day to day, to make payroll and buy equipment before the customer checks clear. This is the trap that catches almost every first-time buyer. The purchase price is the number everyone obsesses over, and the working capital is the number that actually keeps you up at night. He got through it, but he will tell you it was tighter than he expected. He also kept his W-2 job in the early going, running the company while still drawing a paycheck until the business had grown enough to stand on its own and pay him properly. Here is the turning point. Patrick did not walk in and reinvent the company. He did not launch a rebrand or a marketing blitz or tear up the operations manual. He focused on the 2 things that actually compound in a home services business: the employees and the customers. He invested in his technicians, the people who show up at the door and are the entire reputation of the company. And he followed up relentlessly with customers, closing the loop on every job. That is it. Culture and follow through. And the results tell the story. In less than 2 years, Patrick doubled the business to $2.5 million in revenue. This year, he is on pace to close somewhere between $3.5 and $3.6 million. That is a quadrupling of the baseline he bought in about 2.5 years, and he did it with just 2 additional technicians. He did not buy growth by throwing bodies at it. He got more out of the team and the customer base that were already there. So what is the lesson for you if you are in the search right now? It is this: the best deal you will ever find may not be on a listing site. It may be 3 doors down, owned by someone who wants to hand it to a person they trust, not to the highest bidder. The move this week is to look up from the screen. Make a list of the business owners you already know, the ones nearing retirement in your own community, and start having coffees with no agenda other than getting to know them. Seller financing at 90% is not a trick you negotiate. It is a level of trust you earn over months. Start earning it now. That's it for Thursday. Find all of Main Street Media's shows wherever you listen. Subscribe, leave a review, and I'll see you Monday in the deal room.